Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Heyman.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I'm the Ace.
And I am the Duke. Welcome to a very special edition of the Ace and the Duke Show. The reason why this episode is special, well, first of all,
Hashtag Heyman Hustle.
we're covering two events this week, like we do with pretty much after every pay-per-view. This week we'll be covering the events from Triple F TV for April 16th of 2015, as well as this last pay-per-view, No Man's Land 15.
2015. Yes.
But before we begin the show, we just want to take you back to last week where we were brutally assaulted by the ubiquitous tornado. Let's take a look. And that's all the matches, guys. So as always, stay tuned for the next episode. Oh, hey! Hey, it's Tornado! Hey, Tornado!
And to that, we will respond, fuck the tornado.
Oh.
Tornado will now lose all his matches and be banned from any more further comments on the show.
Yeah, he's suspended
until the time machine has an effect on the show.
Yes, until that time, Ubiquitous Tornado has been banned from the show until further notice. So, we are no longer allowing him into our studio. We do have someone else in our studio, but we'll get to him in a minute. So, first of all,
in about 30 minutes. But
let's take a look at this past week's episode of Triple F TV for the week of April 16th, 2015. So we started off the night with a proving ground match between Scar Tissue and Oogie Boogie Watts, not to be confused with 1.21 Boogie Watts.
We started the match. Oh wait, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yes,
that was my fault. I looked at it wrong.
Yes, you did.
And I forgot it was a 3-fucking-parter.
Yes, the video itself is a 3-parter if you try and look at it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was a very, very long match, but worth it because it was a very good match. But in the end, nothing changed.
Nope.
Scar Tissue beat Oogie Boogie Watts. By the way, again, not to be confused with 1.21 Boogie Watts. Oogie Boogie Watts is the Ubiquitous Tornado and Danny Dow, whereas Scar Tissue is the Real Deal and the Dark Passenger. And they, of course, retain their tag team championship belts because, well, first of all, they didn't get a chance to lose them yet. So, that's that. They beat them, and they keep their championship belts.
And for now, well, who knows? Who knows what's next for them? But, well, we do, obviously, because we have the
pay-per-view.
But
let's move on.
Move on. After that match, however, we had a quick, brief intermission, and then a stable entrance.
Yes,
because a stable is like a tag team, but it has 3, 4, or sometimes even 5 members. And Deadly Darkness had been having the manager, The Undertaker, for this whole time, and they finally decided, you know what, we're going to make it a stable. We'll bring Undertaker and put him on the roster, give him matches, and hope he wins them. Which, he won the previous week match, and he doesn't have a week on this pay-per-view, or on this,
episode.
Actually, yeah, he
yes,
did. He was in the triple threat.
Does.
Yeah.
But, again, we're going to talk about that later. For right now, all you really need to know is that Deadly Darkness did introduce The Undertaker as their newest member, meaning they are now a stable and no longer a tag team in the, tag team sense. However, the main tag team is still Horatio and Cody the Kid Brown.
Yep.
So, we move on to the actual next match, where one of the members of Deadly Darkness was actually taking place in it. It's a steel cage match between Horatio and Doug Glatt. Doug Glatt beat Horatio the previous week, and Horatio, in retaliation, decided to challenge Glatt to a cage match on this week's episode of Triple F TV, looking to get his revenge this past week.
And, yes, that's what happened.
Unfortunately, it was not what happened.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Horatio once again lost to Doug Glatt, putting Doug Glatt into his already into his predetermined match against the Real Deal at No Man's Land in Hell in a Cell. So, meaning Horatio's next challenge would be a Hell in a Cell match at No Man's Land between not just the Real Deal now, but now also Doug Glatt. So how did that pan out for him? Find out later in this episode. Let's move on to Horatio's very next match. He jumped right into this one. The Deadly Darkness versus Paris and Paris. Or Paris Dahmer and Paris Newman.
And with Horatio already being in the ring, the only person who had to come down from that team was Cody Kid Brown. And they did so quickly, and I can't say they finished this match quickly because it was a long match, but it was a dominating performance.
Yes, Horatio was very, very, very upset with his previous result and decided to take his anger out on the two Parises. And, well, let's just say, this time his anger wasn't for naught.
Yeah.
This time, Deadly Darkness quickly, well, not quickly, but they did dispatch of the team up of Paris and Paris.
They did. But, moving on to our next match, we had a manager brawl. Also, well, really, stable brawl should have been the title, but meh.
Oh well. It was between The Undertaker, Andre the Giant, and Rick Rude.
Who?
I don't even know. He didn't win the match.
But the winner was The Undertaker.
Of course, as we predicted on last week's episode of The Ace and the Duke, The Undertaker did indeed win the match by pinning Andre the Giant.
Clap, 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 clap.
Moving on to the triple threat match, we had the Future taking on Vulcan and the Real Deal. And who did
It was a surprise win.
It was
for
definitely
Vulcan.
a surprise win because neither of us predicted this. Vulcan won the match. Vulcan won the triple threat match on this previous episode of Triple F TV, and I think everyone was shocked. I think even Vulcan himself was pretty shocked at his own performance.
I think so as well.
So it was definitely good to see Vulcan win that match. Like I said, it would have been awesome to see Vulcan win, and you know what? It was awesome.
Yep. And
Finally,
moving on to the last match of that little segment, show, whatever.
A table match between Cody the Kid Brown and the Dark Passenger.
Cody Kid Brown was not pinned in the previous week during the triple threat, which would have made the pay-per-view championship match a triple threat. So he challenged TDP to a match. And, well, he ended up losing that match. But it was a hard-fought match.
Indeed.
A couple of missed tables you scattered across the ring. Or missed finishes scattered across the ring, I should say, because the tables were used to finish the match, obviously.
Yes.
But
Cody ended up getting sent right through the table with the Dark Passenger taking the victory.
Yep.
For the final match and the main event at last week's Triple F TV. So, moving on to the pay-per-view No Man's Land 15. We started off the night with the Hell in a Cell match between Horatio, Doug Glatt, and the Real Deal. Horatio now after both of these men as he had unfinished business with both of them. So, I definitely foresaw Horatio taking all of his anger and revenge out on these two, and sure enough,
he did.
He did. He won this match
And then,
very handily.
yes, and then he was put up against a mystery opponent.
That's right. Right after this match, a new match was almost immediately announced with the winner of the Hell in a Cell match taking on the newest member of the Triple F.
Jack Anderson.
Now, Horatio was very obviously exhausted, but he also knew he could not let down his team as well as himself. So Horatio, of course, accepted the challenge, and, well, let's just say this newbie was put in his place by Horatio. He was shown, this is the big leagues. You're messing with the wrong guy today.
And obviously, We all saw what happened there.
Horatio pretty much destroyed Jack Anderson, although I do see Jack Anderson coming back.
I do as well. But moving on to the
Next
next
Hell in a Cell
match.
match.
What?
That's right. This next match was another Hell in a Cell match.
I know, but what? Excuse me. As I say it again. What?
Apocalyptic Paris Newman took on the Future as well as Paris Dahmer.
The Future was a dominant force and has been for a long time in this being a former champion, and that's who we predicted to win this match. So in no way, shape, or form did we see it going the way it went in this past week's pay-per-view.
That's right. Not only did the Future lose, but he lost to Apocalyptic Paris Newman. And it was a shock to everyone. Nobody saw this coming. I really don't think anyone saw this coming. Probably not even Newman himself saw this coming.
I don't think so.
That was a very astonishing match. It was definitely a match I was surprised to see the outcome of. So, has Newman improved a lot since his previous outings? Perhaps. Maybe we'll see Newman winning a lot more matches in the near future. But for now, it's only speculation as we move on to our next match, the Tag Team #1 Contenders match between 1.21 Boogie Watts and Deadly Darkness to see who would challenge Scar Tissue for the #1 contender for the Tag Team Championship match.
And we found out that it would be
1.21 Boogie Watts.
Yeah.
As Cody the Kid Brown ended up tapping out to one of the Future's submission maneuvers. Horatio was on his way to save Cody, but apparently
he did not
make it in time. So, unfortunately for Deadly Darkness, they do not get another shot at the Tag Team Championship for a little while now. So, best of luck to 1.21 Boogie Watts to see if we can actually get a new Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
But up next was a completely unrelated match to any of this, really. We had an Extreme Rules Fatal 4-Way between the 3 contenders in the Triple F TV episode's Manager Brawl, as well as, wait for it, the best in the world, CM Punk.
Who is also a Paul Heyman guy.
You're just going to talk about Paul Heyman all night?
Yes, I am. Because fucking awesome. Shut up. But, of course, the winner of that match
was the same as the winner for the Manager Brawl. The Undertaker tombstoning Andre the Giant and pinning him down, while Rick Rude was busy picking up CM Punk.
Yep.
He could have easily broken that pin, but
no,
he didn't. So the Undertaker won the match.
He was like, "Nope, I'm not helping you. Nope, get up on your own, asshole."
And next up, we had a #1 contenders match for the Triple F Championship between Cody the Kid Brown and Vulcan.
And, well, we all kind of seen this one before. Well, a couple times, actually, because they've been feuding as of late.
But Cody the Kid Brown took down Vulcan and became the #1 contender, which means he has the next shot at the Triple F Championship.
Actually, no he doesn't, but we'll talk about that in just a second.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of the championship, up next was the championship match.
And a new, reigning, defending
Triple F
champion
is the Dark Passenger.
Giving 1.21 Boogie Watts stable. Well, actually, I mean, not 1.21 Boogie Watts, Scar Tissue stable. Both titles. Sorry about that, guys.
So, Dynamite Danny has finally been defeated, and his title reign is now over.
But, as I was talking about last match, he has a contract clause. Remember the rematch clause?
Oh, yes.
The reigning, defending champion, if he loses, gets a rematch to reclaim the title, which is why Cody the Kid Brown's #1 contendership is halted.
Because it has to be determined for sure who is the champion. Will Dynamite Danny win his championship back, or will the Dark Passenger prove once and for all that he is the champion? Well, we're just gonna have to find out whenever Dynamite Danny uses his rematch clause.
Now, we have a special guest on the show, obviously, as we said earlier.
Yes.
But before that, we would like to take a few seconds to cut back and show you this week's previous thing that happened this past week at the pay-per-view.
That absolutely no one saw coming whatsoever. Let's take a look at when Cody the Kid Brown announced the newest member of the Deadly Darkness stable.
Their newest member? What?
I don't know.
They signed another member?
Obviously so.
What? Wait, the entire place just went dark. What the heck is going on here?
The lights are gone.
What in the world?
The show's gone. Who?
What? What?
Sting! Sting is in the building! Sting is here!
Sting? Are you serious? They got Sting. Of
The icon.
all the people, they got Sting.
The icon.
How did they manage to convince him to join?
I honestly have no idea, but this is a move, dude. This is a big move.
This is a huge movement. Holy... Wow. Sting.
And the crowd feels like they're not worthy. And they're not.
Is anyone worthy? Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure.
This is amazing. Deadly Darkness signed Sting. Of all people.
Sting!
And absolutely everyone was floored.
Everyone.
Sting joining Deadly Darkness, I don't think anyone, including us, saw this coming. I mean, when he announced a new member for Deadly Darkness, we were all sitting there wondering who it could possibly be, and then it turns out to be Sting? Of all people, he managed to get Sting on board with Deadly Darkness.
And we had a reaction to that, and you saw it in that video.
Yes.
But I will say it again. The icon, the vigilante, the immortal, Sting, of all people. How are they putting this together?
I don't know. Somehow they've gotten two of the deadliest, well, I guess it kind of fits with their name, two of the deadliest wrestlers in sports entertainment history.
But speaking of the Deadly Darkness stable,
That's right, we have a special guest who is actually one of the first members of Deadly Darkness.
Horatio.
Please
Say
welcome
hello.
the assassin, the man who's after everyone in the Triple F's head, and the second member of the deadliest team in the Triple F, Deadly Darkness, Horatio. Welcome to the show, Horatio. How are you doing? And we would just like to ask you a few questions, concerning No Man's Land, as well as Deadly Darkness.
A warrior such as myself will answer any questions you have.
Of course. So, Horatio, you were on fire at No Man's Land, and the only match you actually lost was the tag team match against 1.21 Boogie Watts. I mean, how do you reflect on your performance from this previous pay-per-view?
I am indeed pleased with my own performance, as you call it. It was very simple. I won and they lost. My opponents were destined to lose. As for that #1 contender match, I did not lose that match. That was my teammate, the Kid, who tapped out, even though I could have very easily freed him. But, seeing as he did win his next match, he redeemed himself in my eyes, and I will continue to work with him.
So to follow up with that question, how do you feel about the owner throwing you directly into another one of your matches as soon as your other Hell in a Cell match was over this past week at a pay-per-view? Doesn't that feel like a bit of an insult?
An insult? Maybe so, but I still beat that upstart.
I mean, but weren't you at least tired? I mean, you had just fought off two very excellent competitors right before this match started. I mean, weren't you worried that you were going to lose the match?
Yes, I was indeed a little winded, as you would put it, but I had to put that upstart in his place. He had to know who he was dealing with. He was dealing with a warrior, a true warrior. I am not like the rest of the people in this federation. I do not back down from a challenge, no matter who initiates it and no matter what condition I am in. They all need to be put in their place, and I am the one who is going to do it.
So Horatio, you are part of the team Deadly Darkness. How do you feel about Cody's manager, The Undertaker, joining the team?
I had heard many things about The Undertaker. He was a great warrior and an excellent addition to the Deadly Darkness stable. I'm honored to have a man of that caliber in our presence.
And speaking of the Deadly Darkness staple, we have just one more question for you, Horatio. What do you think about the newest member that just joined and was announced at the No Man's Land pay-per-view? The icon, the vigilante, former 6-time WCW champion, and the immortal Sting.
Like with The Undertaker, I was very pleased with the kid's selection for another member. Sting was indeed a very wise choice. I admire the kid's selection of fellow members, which is just another reason I have stuck with him all this time.
Well, thank you for your time, Horatio. We know you have to get back to your training and such, so you can go ahead and, leave any time you choose now.
I will certainly go, but first I have just one more thing to take care of.
What?
Oh, not again!